Hello and welcome everyone. This is Race on Oz. It's Monday night. It's the PC League. Hope you're all doing well. We're getting all set for round number 9 of the season, the final round. It's 100 minutes around Cota, not Lozano. But I did that thumbnail ages ago and I couldn't be bothered changing it, so here we are. Last week was a cracking race around the Red Bull Ring, so it was a full 60 minutes in the wet last week. It was a damp qualifying in a full wet race. Max Ricker put it on pole. He did it pretty easy from the front there in the end. James Pierre-Reid suffered some issues again at the start, some technical issues, so fingers crossed that's the last of the gremlins for him this season. Vinny had a spin at the start, worked his way all the way back to P5. Had some great pace, so it was a case of what if for him. Jack Steele went a super long stint. Chris Hildebrandt won the silver class. That was nice. We'll get to that shortly. Frosty had a really great drive as well. Unfortunately, though, he put dries on at the pit stop and ended up spinning out of the lead, which Chris Hildebrandt then inherited and took home. And it was another third place for Benjamin Hignett, his 6th of the season. So quite an incredible feat in and of itself. Pardon me. So as mentioned, round number 9 of the season. And last week it was Max Ricker who took out the overall race victory. Rain of Fire saying that was painful last week in the wet, I can imagine. Ricker started P1, finished P1. He dominated all the way from start to finish. Chris Hildebrandt, as I mentioned, the feel-good story. He took home his first class victory of the season. He started 15th. He ended the race in 6th. And Wally Masterson was the sole AM runner. We've got 3 AM runners in the field tonight, so that's a little bit nice. Bit nice for a change. He started 12th, he finished 12th. Brings us to the standings. So it's Jack Steele leading the way, 573.8 points, leading Max Ricker by 564. Benjamin Hignett sitting in 3rd. Of course he is, 556.5. So it's pretty tight still at the top. So basically the equation is that Max would need to win and Steele would need to finish 3rd or lower. For Hignett to win the championship, he would need to win the race and have both Steele and Ricker finish 4th or lower. I think that's correct. Maths is not my strong suit, but I think that I've worked it out. That is the case. Aaron Parker's had a great season, sitting there in 4th, 473.4. Vinny Canero in 5th in the Nissan. Terry Rayton, who hasn't raced the last few races, won't be here this evening either, in 6th. Paul Russell, a good steady season after he dropped down to silver in 7th. 8th is Robin Herbert. 9th is Mitch Hayes. And 10th is Matthew Frost. Let's take a look at the AM and the silver. So silver drivers, 3. Paul Russell leads the way, 3 class victories for the season for him. 332.4 points. Robin Herbert, 283.9. Mitch Hayes, 278.1 with 3 class victories for the season. Matthew Frost there, he's taken home a victory, as well as Chris Hildebrandt, both in 4th and 5th. Then it's Brett McGillivray, Mark Hurley, James Mack, Neil Fakeney, Christopher Butt, and Nando Latanzio. AM class, it's Wally Masterson's pretty much wrapped it up. 40 points clear of James Bridgens. They've each had 3 class victories each for the season. I don't think Bridgens is racing tonight, so Wally Masterson is. So this is just 100 minutes of the victory lap for him this evening. Rod Taylor, he's back. He's racing tonight, so he can snag 2nd place in the championship. He's had a good practice session so far as well. John Hedges, he's racing as well this evening. That's nice. We've got 3 AM, 3 of the top 5 AM runners. That's great. Zach Jensen in 5th position. In terms of ballast, 26 kilos for Steele, 24 to Hignett, 22 to Max Ricker, evening to Terry Rayton. He's got 14 kilos of ballast, but he's not racing. He is watching though. Aaron Parker with 10, Russell with 6, as well as Mick Hayes, Lawrenson and Pierre Reid with 4, 2 to Foss, 2 to Hildebrandt. Let's take a quick look at the track map. It is a 5.53 kilometre circuit. It was first introduced in 2012, 20 turns. Turn 1, it's a 37.8 metre change in elevation. Then up the back straight, it's 1.2 kilometres in length. We should expect to see a lot of passing up through there. And as we go through, that third sector there, second to last turn is quite difficult, as all cars are making their way out on the circuit now. It is our championship leader, Jack Steele, who is leading the way. Vinny Canera couldn't quite sneak out there just in time. I am on time tonight, so that's nice as well. So Canera out there, Benjamin Hignett, Aaron Parker, all the familiar names. Russell is out there. What are the conditions? It's fast tonight. So far, 29 degrees, air temperature 36 degrees, track. That 1 kilometre wind at the moment, and looking like the weather is going to be quite nice for the entirety of the session. So definitely no rain today, at least in the qualifying session. We'll see how we go for the race. Brett McGillivray, the other BMW in the field, is Christopher Butt. I think this is about his third or fourth race, so first time racing PC. Not known by Rain of Fire as his console name. He's Chris Hildebrandt, last week's Silver Class winner. Sideways, he's got Taylor out there. Matthew Frost, as mentioned, slicks in his pit stop instead of wets, so that explained why he went off in the fashion that he did. Wally Masterson, AM champion-elect out there as well. Heather Russell cheering on Paul as usual, so hello to all the Russell family. Let's go have a look at Jack Steele, who's about to begin a lap now. Let's go for a ride around this circuit. Goes through turn 1. Big Red is what it's called. Only quarter name that I know of. Now it is track. It's track invalidation, corner cutting, central, whatever you want to call it. That will definitely play some sort of role this evening. Whether we see people get penalties for it or whether it affects people's pace, be sure that we will see it this evening. Steele finishes negotiating the first sector there. Gearing up for turn number 11. That'll bring him onto this long back straight, so 1.2 kilometres in length. I don't know how many school buses that is back to back. That's the way the Americans like to measure things by length of football fields, swimming pools, buses. 1.2 kilometres is its length. When he comes into this section through here, these corners from 12 to 19, very similar to the infield section of the stadium section of Hockenheim. You can see that car just getting right through there. It's very tight and twisty through here. Often see cars making contact through those corners. And it's pretty much a simple apex right-hander where when you get it right, was absolutely fantastic. This corner is a lot trickier than it looks, and then the final turn will bring you onto the start-finish line. That'll be the first lap of the evening. We'll see what sort of time he filters out with. It's a 2:06 flat so far. Canero was one of the drivers who was going to go over next. Aaron Parker, Chris Hildebrandt. But he's coming across the line as well. plenty of drivers making their way through. Paul Russell will be one of them. So Steele has gone to the top of the times. A 2.6 flat. 3/100ths of a second faster than Steele. No, Max Rico goes to the top of the times. So what's Benjamin Hicknett doing? He's making his way. He's got Steele just up ahead of him. So he might try and get a little bit of a tow down this back straight. But Max Rico has laid down the fastest time thus far of the session. Duck over to Chris Hildebrand is further back, so we'll go back to Benjamin Higgett. He's invalidated his lap, so that is no good for him. Vinny Canero is one of the top 4 right now, but a 206.065, so 3/100ths of a second faster is Max Ricker. Haven't seen him. There he is, out on screen. Wally Masterson is just pulled over to the side of the road there, so he's going to get himself going again. Here's Hildebrand. As mentioned, last week's Silver Class winner. Through 13 of 14. So sort of time we can shake out everyone else out there on laps right now. So it's starting to flow pretty thick and fast. As mentioned, Hignett hasn't put down a fast time yet. He's invalidated his current lap. So is Parker, but it looks like they're on not on cool down laps. Hignett will go past the line shortly. So he did his. Vinny Canero, what sort of time is he going to put in here? 6/10 up on his best time. Will he be able to leapfrog Paul Russell, who's currently in P3? Not quite. So P4 is where he will remain. Matt Frost, he moves up into P5. I was with Hildebrand, so he's shaken out into P8. Here's Rod Taylor, so he hasn't been around for the last couple of races, so great to see him back in the number 32 Ferrari. He's currently down there in P11 right now at 209.670. He's second in the AM class, just behind Wally Masterson, who's ahead of him in outright P number 10. We'll see what sort of time he's 9/10 up on his best time right now. Will he be able to get up there into the top 10? He does, into P10. That line comes up pretty quick, doesn't it? Here's Mark Hurley. He's been plagued with technical issues all season, so fingers crossed he doesn't have any dramas tonight. Down there in 17th, 8/10 off his best time, so he's probably not going to improve from there at the moment, as we're over halfway already in this session, so time absolutely flying by. We'll stick with Hurley until the end. Who else do we have out there? We've got Hildebrand, we've got Hignett on a lap. We'll duck over to him very, very shortly. Let's see where Hurley shakes out. Comes up. Here we go. Here's Benjamin Hignett, 2.5 seconds up on the Delta, making his way through right-hander of 16 and 17 and 18. Ferrari nicely hooked up. So as mentioned, he has had a whopping 6 third places for the season. 6th third in the championship. He's 13th on, and look at that, he's P3 now. That should come as of no surprise. Here is Hildebrand looking to improve on his time. He moves up into P6. So Chris Hildebrand is in some nice form at the moment. Paul Russell leads all Silver Class drivers up there in P4 outright. So Paul Russell going to finish off the season nice and strong. As we're riding with Wally Masterson down there in P12, champion-elect right now for AM class. Everyone else is on warm-up laps right now, basically getting set for the final part of this qualifying session. But it's Jack Steele leading the way. Ricker in Hignett, so those pretty much the top three in the championship standings. Russell Kinnear, Hildebrand, Frost, Butt, Herbert. Masterson is in P12. That's where he remains at the moment. Highest of the silver runners, Paul Russell. One tough track, and track limits are crazy. Yes, Brett McLean, I do agree. It is, I have no doubt we'll see someone penalised for track limit violations tonight. I think I'd be silly to say that I'd hope that we get none, because I just don't think that's really going to be possible around here, but we'll see. I've been wrong many times before. Hopefully I am wrong this evening, but we'll wait and see. Who else is out there? Mitch Hayes. Had a funny old season, has Mitch Hayes. Looking at him earlier, he's had three class victories. But then in those 3 class victories, he's had a 20th, a 21st, and a 13th. So it's kind of been, you know, either it's been right up there in the top sort of 5. He's had 2 top 5 finishes, a 6th and an 8th, and then 20, 21, and 13, a best of 4th overall. It's Exo. How are ya? Long time no speak. Good to hear from you. I didn't know that was. I usually know you by your console name. No, I'm going good, mate. How are you? Hope you're well at the moment. Here's Rod Taylor, one of the AM drivers out there. So 3 of them this evening. He'll be looking to finish his season strong. Where was Mitch Hayes? So Mitch Hayes, currently P5 right now. Rod Taylor doesn't improve on his time. Here's Wally Master, the other AM driver. Only 3 minutes left in qualifying. Getting set for round number 9. Final round of the season. And Masterson P14. Here's Mark Hurley. Just trying to where are we? Yeah, that's Hurley. Here's Ricker. So probably a good idea to focus on the guys at the front. How's he going? So he's 3/10 off. Just turned 57. My PS5 has gone back in for HDMI port issues twice in 4 months. That's rough. Well, I hope it gets sorted out. Twice in 4 months, so once every couple of months. That's a bit of an issue. Here's Ricker, 3/10 down on Jack Steele right now. He's 2/10 up on his best time. 90 seconds left in qualifying. Let's see what he can do here. Still 3.5 tenths. Well, he did make up a little bit of time there, but in doing so, he lost some time. So maybe just overcooked it there. Not going to improve at this stage. So right now, starting from P number 2, Vinny Canero way down on his best time. Mitch Hayes is down just marginally. Here's Mark Hurley though. He's up on his best time. He's going to call that one quits. Vinny Canero is way down on his time. Mitch Hayes is the other one we'll go back to. So less than 40 seconds left in this session. Jack Steele is out there right now. He's 2/10 up on his best time. Max Ricker is out on another lap. Still 25 seconds left. Hayes good enough for P6 right now. Here's James Pierre-Reid down in 12th at the moment. Second up on his best time. that could sneak him into the top 6. We'll wait and see. I think he could go top 5. He goes P4. Nice work, James Pierre-Reid, with a late entry there. He's Benjamin Hignett. He's 4/10 up on his best time. He's 6/10 off pole position. Jack Steele is just behind him at the moment as well. You can see him just in the background. So Hignett currently P3, 4.5 tenths. So making up more and more time in the dying stages of qualifying. Setting the grid, round number 9, the final round of the season. Let's see as he comes through the final turn. What can he do here? Is he able to take pole at the last second? No, he can't. He goes up into P2 though. Here's Max Ricker. Steele aborted his lap. Ricker is up by a couple of tenths at the moment. Just making his way out of 18 through into 19. Needs to make up a whole bunch of time in these last couple of corners. He's 2/10 up on his best time. He drops off a little bit through there as he did the last time he was making his way out of that final corner now. Will he take pole position? He won't. P3 is the best he can do at the moment. Here comes Robin Herbert. He's improving slightly. He scrubs off a little bit of time. Will he move up into P12? No, he doesn't. P13 is where he will remain. Vinny Canero is 7/10 up on his best time, so he's looking to take P5 away from Aaron Parker. Aaron Parker's also out there on a fast lap as well, 3/10 up on his best time. Mitch Hayes is just behind them, so the top 8 is not settled quite yet. Vinny Canero will be the first one to cross the line, almost 7/10 up on his best time. He'll go into P6. Mitch Hayes moves up into P7. Aaron Parker now 4/10 up on his best time as he navigates through the final corner. Almost half a second up he was through there, but he's lost a whole bunch of time. And P5 is where he will finish the qualifying session. So an exciting end to qualifying, but it was Jack Steele, the man of steel, who has taken pole position. Congratulations to him. Jay Steele. I'll write that down. Pole. It was Mitch Hayes who took out the pole position for silver. Congratulations to him. And Rod Taylor, welcome back. He took out the pole position for AM. So Hayes, what was his overall position there? It was 7th, and Taylor, it was 14. What is that awful noise in the background? Alright, cool. That is qualifying all sorted. So let's see when this clock starts. I don't think there's anyone out there on the circuit, no. Ben Russ, come on, Mark Hurley, do something. Oh yeah, I think you were here a few weeks ago asking about Mark Hurley, and yeah, was it at Suzuka? I can't remember. But anyway, for your reference, down there in P16 is Mark Hurley in the 177. As we're just waiting for the countdown timer to kick in, and we'll see what sort of timer we have. And in the meantime, I'll get this cabling sorted out. My goodness, that's a bit better. Where are we? The clock does take for ages, doesn't it? It's usually like a 4-minute countdown, but we'll wait and see. Any golf fans? The Masters were on this morning. Rory McIlroy. That was pretty exciting. F1s last night. Oscar Piastri. How good. In with a real chance to win the title this season. Early days, but still. Had GT2s last night and GT3s at Paul Ricard. That was very, very wet. GT2s were quite wet as well. V8 supercars were on as well. NASCAR, heaps of motorsport going on. So plenty to keep people interested no matter what what series you follow. All right, I'm not hanging around for this. I was hoping DeChambeau would win the Masters. Yeah, I think he looked good in the early rounds, but yeah, couldn't quite come through. Here, there we go. 4 minutes. All right, I'll be back in like 3. So sit tight, and we'll get the final round of the season underway. All right, we are back, ready to get things underway. So, Jack Steele is going to be leading them away. So, just for everyone's information, so as mentioned, so it's a 9.2 point lead. So the lead is 9.2 between first and second. That's Jack Steele and Max Ricker. So to win the championship, Max Ricker would need to win the race, and Jack Steele would need to finish third or lower. Now, to give you an idea how many times Jack Steele has finished third or lower this season is once. That was fourth in round number 4. Other than that, his other finishing spot, his lowest, is 6th. So only a couple of times has he finished 4th or lower. No, he's finished 6th twice, actually. Twice he's finished 6th, 4th he's finished once. He's had 1, 2, 3 race wins in there, 2 seconds. He'll be looking to make it 4 race wins this evening. Benjamin Hignett, so for him to win the championship, he'd need to have Steele and Max Ricker finish 4th or lower. Max has actually finished 4th 2 times this season. His lowest finishing spot is 9th. That was in round number 4. So Hignett would need, but he'd need to win the race and have Steele and Ricker finish 4th or lower. So it's going to be a big effort from him. Where's Max Ricker? Down there in 3rd. I thought he was in 2nd. Anyway, James Pierre Reid, he'll begin the race from P4, so fingers crossed. Has no issues with his equipment. Aaron Parker, he's had a fantastic season. He's been really good. He's been like the rookie of the year with his race victory in round number 4 this season. He came close in round 1. He had the issue, he had the blown tyre in Valencia. He's had some ups and downs. What's his lowest finishing spot was 10th. That's pretty good. Mitch Hayes, so he's he's 3rd in the Silver Class Championship. Vinny Canero, he's sort of had everything happen to him this season, has Vinny Canero. So hopefully, fingers crossed, he can have a really good race tonight and maybe even finish on the podium. That would be very, very well deserved for the Nissan driver. Paul Russell, he's had a fantastic season as well. He's first back down in Silver Class. So he's going to win the Silver Class Championship unless something crazy happens. Robin Herbert is 2nd in class there, but he's down 13th right now, and it's a 49-point gap between those two, so that's not really that close. Chris Hildebrandt, last time out at Red Bull Ring, he won the Silver Class victory. Christopher Butt, good result for him up there in P10, so nice to see him, another PC convert, ex-console, so good luck to him this evening. Matt Frost, just with that stroke of bad luck last week, put the dry weather tyres on in the wet weather conditions. Brett McGillivray, he's 6th right now in the Silver Class Championship. He begin the race from P12. Robin Herbert, he is going to begin the race P13. So he's had another decent season. He's sitting 8th in the championship. Here's Robin Herbert, so really, really steady from him this season. Rod Taylor, highest of the AM drivers. He begins the race in the Ferrari from P14. Wally Masterson, John Hedges, and Mark Hurley in P17. But here we go. Final round of the season. It's Steele and Hignett. P1, P2. Ricker in 3rd. Reid in 4th. We'll get the line. We'll come up pretty quick, or we'll go a little bit longer than it is for qualifying. It's a little bit longer. And we will go racing when we get the signal. It's on the dirty side of the track as well is Steele. And any second now.
Green light,
there it is. So it looks like it's a pretty good jump from Steele. As they head into turn 1, he goes down the inside. Ricker follows suit. Frost has gone around. So, where is he? Matt Frost has gone around to turn 1. So, Steele leads from Hignett. Looks like Pierre Reid managed to sneak through there as well. So, Max Ricker drops back into 4th. Aaron Parker there in 5th. Vinny Canero, Mitch Hayes. That was Butt who was making his way across the curbs there, so getting a little bit agricultural through there. Hildebrandt and Hayes battling it out, but at the front of the field it is Jack Steele leading the way from Benjamin Hignett. So my timing screen is going a little bit crazy, so hopefully that fixes itself up shortly. From Parker, Canero in there as well. Looks like mostly everyone managed to get away relatively well, and even Frosty's not that far off the back of the field, so he's got a lot of work to do over the next 100 minutes as Vinny Canero goes around the outside there of Aaron Parker. He's going to have the inside run here for the following couple of turns, makes a little bit of contact, almost goes around, just saves it. So that was actually a pretty good save there from Vinny Canero. Maybe a little bit ambitious to go up the inside there. Chris Hildebrand up there in P8. Where did he start? He started in P8. He's got Mitch Hayes for company right now, who takes away P7. But at the front of the field, it is Steele leading the way. Our championship leader, Benjamin Hignett, sitting in second. Hopefully this fixes up the time screen. No, it doesn't. What? Oh, there we go. Beautiful. Hignett, Reed in third, Ricker in fourth. So we've got a little breakaway group already. The top four. And then it's followed by Parker. Hayes coming through. Hildebrand and McGillivray. Vinny Kinero in there as well. A little bit further back is Rod Taylor and Molly Matheson. So a couple of AM drivers going at it. Christopher Butt, who started ninth, has dropped down to 12th in the early skirmish. Mark Hurley's made up a bunch of spots already. So he's up 3 spots already into P13. So his friend who's in the chat asking him to do something, he certainly has done that. He's made up plenty of spots off the line. And what's happened to Paul Russell? So how long has he been in there for? 44 seconds right now. So something is amiss with the number 6 McLaren. And Paul Russell is currently in the pits right now. And he's still in there. Hopefully that's not terminal, but we'll wait and see. Frost and Hurley getting the job done there. Let's see how this happened. So Matt Frost after that spin at turn 1 on lap 1. Tucked in and gets the move done around the outside. Pretty straightforward. And moves up into P13. Hurley drops down into 14th position. Back out in front, so it's already 1.1 second gap between Steele and Hignett. Steele leading this one as a structure, whatever it is. It's a viewing tower. They're kind of like the signature sort of piece of this track. Steele all over the back of Hignett right now. Ricker is very, very similar behind Reed. They head down the front straight and they'll approach turn 1. 37.8 metres. Equivalent about 3 stories from the bottom to the top in elevation. Vinny Kinero and Hildebrand. As well as McGillivray in there as well. So 8th, 9th and 10th. So Hildebrand, 7th, 8th and 9th. Hildebrand in 7th, 8th. Kinero 9th with McGillivray. Steele continuing to open up a gap right now. It's at 1.5 seconds. But a relatively subdued start. We only had Frost who went around. Russell is back out there as well. So he's only just got down to the pits 40 seconds ago. He's got Frost behind him who will be lapping him now. As we're back with the Ferrari of Max Ricker. So he needs to win this race. And for Steele to be 4th or lower. That is not going to plan right now. It's a big send down into turn 12 at the end of the main straight. Pierre Reed's going to fight back here. He's not going to give this up without a fight. He's going to run a little bit deep there. That'll open up the door for Ricker. Good side-by-side racing. 2 respectful drivers right here. So this is great stuff. As we go on board with the number 27, Max Ricker. Hunting down the Lamborghini of James Pierre Reed. I don't know how many corner cutting violations we've had so far. Maybe a few of them on the opening lap. As Ricker and Reed are going to go side by side down the front straight. So it's going to be a drag race between Lamborghini and Ferrari power. Who will win? It looked like the Ferrari had the slight edge, and he does. He gets by. So he goes up the inside, does Ricker. And He's able to put the Lamborghini behind him for now. And that is where he stays. So Max Ricker moves up into P3. In the meantime, though, Jack Steele starting to open up a bigger gap. 2.3 seconds is the gap now between he and Benjamin Hignett. Last lap around, Steele did a 206.387. 206.4, 207.2 to Hignett. So a decent gap in speed there between the two. And looks like Ricker's been able to solidify that change of position. So he's in third out right now. Aaron Parker will be looking to try and get past the Lamborghini next. He did a 207.3 compared to a 208.5 on that previous lap. So Parker's got a little bit of speed in that in the McLaren. Have a look at him with the onboard. Runs quite deep there at the end of the straight. 1.2 kilometre straight. We've already seen some passing happening down there at the end of it. So we'll see a lot more over the next hour and a half. 100 minutes tonight. So there is no pit stop requirements. Strategy is open and free. So, watching Parker hone in on the rear wing of the Lamborghini. JP good to see him not suffering any technical difficulties this week. He's got to try and fend off this fast charging McLaren. They head up the hill into turn 1, and Reed able to keep the McLaren at bay for now. Here's Butt and Masterson. Let's see what's happening here. Oh, looks like it's already happened a while ago. So whatever happened, I think Lloyd Masterson maybe ran wide somewhere through there. I'll see this ending the replay shortly. 3, 2, 1. There we go. We're back. So back to live images. But we're going to make a move there. So he started in 9th, so he got down a couple of spots into 11th for now. Turn 11. This is going to be a drag race as well. Ferrari versus BMW. Who's got the most horsepower? BMW is known for its top speed. Looked like it was edging ahead. It is. He's going to take the inside run here. And I think he's going to be able to get it done. He does. Nice work there from Christopher Butt. Max Ricker has just gotten past Hignett. Let's see how... Oh, so Hignett ran deep. That was at the end of the straight. So a little mistake there from Benjamin Hignett. Got too deep on the brakes, too late. And that allowed Ricker to move through. So we go back to live images. Here we are through the final turn. So it's now Jack Steele, Max Ricker, 3.5 seconds the gap between the two. Jack Steele just laid down a 207 flat compared to a 206.5 on that previous lap. So Ricker has a little bit of pace in that Ferrari. Can he start to make some inroads into Jack Steele, or will he see him in his mirror and say, I've got to put my foot down? We'll wait and see. Taylor and Masterson dropping down spots, so Butt is up into P10. Oh yeah! Frosty gives Wally a bit of a how do you do, and Masterson drops down to P14, so early behind him in 15th right now. So Benjamin Hignett, he was in front of Ricker obviously. So he had the pace to hold him off. It was just a mistake there at the end of the straight that led him astray. gap, 3.3 seconds. So Ricker just making slight inroads, just a sliver at a time. Let's see, what's the top speeds? Speeding at 257, Ricker 259, and Steele 256. Fastest top speed out on the circuit, 263 to Vinny Kinero in the Nissan. He's 2.2 seconds behind Mitch Hayes down there in 6th and 7th. Those guys. Ignat just dropping back a little bit further now, 1.4 seconds, and Ricker making up a little bit of ground on Steele. So Jack Steele is going to have to keep the foot down and keep focused. Try and keep Ricker at bay for now. In the meantime, though, we've got Pierre Reid and Aaron Parker. So they're going out at 4th and 5th right now. As mentioned, Pierre Reid's had more than a couple of races ruined by technical issues, equipment issues and whatnot. So good to see him out there, but it has affected his championship quite significantly with a few DNFs in there. Dent in that. In the meantime, Aaron Parker had a great season so far. His lowest finishing despite his 10th, which I thought was pretty good. He's had a race victory in there. He's had a couple of 4th. He's had a 2nd in there too, a 5th, a 7th. So good solid racing from 884. Looking forward to see what he can do in the future. But right now, tucked in behind James Pierre Reid, who laid down the 207.4 that last lap. Parker with 207.5. In terms of top speed, James Pierre Reid being clocked at 258 kilometres an hour. Aaron Parker being clocked at 259. So we've got a slight advantage, only just. Let's see if we can put it to good use. And make their way down the 1.2 kilometre back straight. Circuit of the Americas. I had the MotoGP racing here only a few weeks ago. Chaotic race. It was. I've never seen so many riders running up pit lane at the start of a race. There's Frosty looking to put a move on Taylor. He does. That's worth a second look, I reckon. Let's go on board with him. And winding that big Mercedes up, cuts into the draft of Taylor. Says thank you very much. A bit later, a bit deeper on the brakes, and Taylor loses the spot. So as we go back to the live images, so Frost up into 11th now. He's chasing Butt, who's 6.2 seconds down the road. That is Paul Russell, who unfortunately is plumb last and couple of laps down at this stage. So he had that issue. Oh no, what happened, Rod Taylor? Let's go to the replay and see. Oh, the car looked a little bit loose. He's got Herbert behind him. Oh, round he goes by himself, and he gets a little nudge there from Herbert on the way through for his efforts. And we go back to live images, so he's heading down the main straight now. So, just that back end stepping out for him caused him to spin around, but he's back up and running. Still got the full 17 runners that we started with, which is good. Done a decently healthy field. Had 16 last week, so 17 this week is good. 100-minute races, the last race of the season. Always a little bit tough for numbers, but oh, Hurley! No, what happened? He's gone. He's done. He's out. I wonder if that was an equipment issue. He's had plenty of them this season, but he is gone. Teleported out. He's done. I'm not too sure if that was a rage quit or if that was a disconnection issue. He left pretty quick, but that is all done for Mark Hurley for this season. Meantime though, this is a nice little battle brewing at the moment. So it's Pierre Reid in 4th. 5th is Parker. 6th is Hayes and Kinnear is 7th. So they're all separated by less than a second, these top 4 here. Well, the 4th through 7th. Which is going to make for some good racing. Out in front, it's still Steele leading the way. 3.5 seconds is the gap. That's what it was when Rickett took over P2. So he's not managed to make any inroads yet into Jack Steele's lead. Last lap around, Steele did a 2:06.9. Max Rickett did a 2:07.6. So very, very rapid pace Jack Steele is setting right now. He's putting his foot right down. So I want this championship. And the man is going like I say faster than a speeding bullet? Speeding train? I can't remember. I was never a big Superman fan. Faster than a speeding bullet? Anyway. But Parker and Hayes. So Parker's just dropped off a little bit from Pierre Reid. Gap is a second between them. Just falling a little bit behind into the clutches of this man, Mitch Hayes. He's had a good season, 3 silver class finishes, sitting 9th in the overall championship, 3rd in the silver class championship. He could take home P2. It would take something extraordinary for him to win the championship, but in saying that, he's in 6th right now. Paul Russell is in 17th. So it would be a 40-point difference. Yeah. Unless Paul Russell DNFs and Mitch Hayes somehow wins this race, which is not beyond the realms of possibility, but you know, if you were a betting man, you'd say I probably would stay away from putting money on him. You know, crazy things have happened. We don't have any weather forecast for this either at the moment, so it's 4:54 in-game time. Track's at optimum. It's beautiful conditions out there. 28 degrees air, 33 degrees track. A slight breeze, 3 kilometres an hour. And we're almost 20 minutes into this 100-minute race. Starting to settle into a nice rhythm at the moment. And rhythm is what you really need for this first part of the circuit. You know, from turn sort of 3 to 9, especially up through here, you know that you're almost at the end of it. You just want to absolutely ram that little orange pad there quickly. This corner here, you don't have to take your throttle. Gear. Try and get as much traction as you can out of the final corner there, out of turn 11, because you want to get as much speed down this 1.2 kilometre straight. You can see Hayes is chasing Parker, he's chasing Pierre Reid. Battle brewing. There's Vinny Canero just in the background there as well, so he's only a second behind. Last lap around 2:08.7 and 2:08.1 to Hayes. So Canero was the 2:08.7. Seen some invalidated laps as well. So will we see penalties for cutting? Still early days, so we'll have to wait and see. That's going to be a challenging race in that aspect. What's Pierre Reid doing? A 2:08 flat, a 2:07.9 to Parker, a 2:07.8 to Hayes. Kinnear did a 2:07.4. This is shaping up nicely as a nice little scrap. Parker is going to try and find a way past this Lamborghini though. Gap between Pierre Reid and Hignett, 3.5. Reid and Hignett, 3.7 is the difference between Max Ricker and Jack Steele. So Steele has just grown that gap ever so slightly since Ricker moved into P2 after the mistake of Hignett down the back straight. Hignett's 3 seconds off. Last lap around, Jack Steele did a 2:07.6. Max Ricker at 2:08.3 and Benjamin Hignett at 2:08 flat. So, gives you a bit of an idea on pace. And Parker just probing, just analysing, observing, just checking, is there a chink in the armour that you can somehow exploit of the Lamborghini ahead? Pierre Reid, a wily competitor, knows what he's doing, knows where to put the car, in the right place at the right time. So he knows how to make that Lamborghini as wide as he possibly can. And yeah, not an easy car to get past. In saying that though, I think Parker will relish the opportunity. Tussle. Driver like Pierre Reid. They make their way through Big Red. I don't know why they call it Big Red. I assume it's got like this big corner and they got the red on the side of the track. Texas red is one of the state colours of the flag. The gap is really extended now between Steele and Ricker. It's gone up a second. So that gives you a bit of an idea. That's the difference right now between first, second and third. So pretty hefty gaps. 4.5 seconds between first and second. And between second and third it's 3 seconds. Third and fourth it's 3.2 seconds. So pretty evenly spaced at this stage. Vinny Kinera though, he's closing right up on the back of Mitch Hayes in the McLaren, the number 45. Highest of the silver class runners. P6 outright, that's fantastic. Have a look at the detail, all the foil and stuff on the, that's not foil, what is it? Is it insulation on the passenger side there? I haven't noticed that before. Don't know what happened to a livery for Vinny Kinera. It doesn't really seem to have bothered with one. Ben Russ bloody early every time I watch him. Tell him to lift his game for me. Oh, is he back out there? I reckon he had a disconnection. How long has he been in the pits for? 5-6 minutes now. I wonder if he had a disconnection issue. Here's Vinny Kinera. He doesn't have a disconnection issue. He's got a Mitch Hayes issue. McLaren is in front of him. Deep under brakes there at turn 1 at Big Red. And he's all over the back of Mitch Hayes right now. Last lap around. Mitch Hayes, a 2:08.4 compared to a 2:07.8. Yeah, so, Ben Russ, he's gone again. Mark Hurley, he was back, but he's gone. So, maybe it's your fault. Maybe you're the curse. I don't really believe in those commentating curses. Oh well, it is what it is. In the meantime though, the train started to develop. Parker just falling back a little bit, ever so slightly, into the clutches of Mitch Hayes. He just sticks the nose out just to let Parker know, hey, I'm here. Oh no, Aaron Parker, he's run deep. We saw Hignett do that earlier. They're going to fight it out. They make a little bit of contact. We saw Vinny Canero make contact in there. Then there's Canero now coming through. It's too late for the replay, but I wanted to stay with the live action. But Aaron Parker just ran deep at the end of the straight. Seen a couple of drivers do that already. Here's Butt and McGillivray. That's Russell in there as well. He's a lap car. He's a lap or two down. Christopher Butt gets the job done. We can check out the replay on that. So it looks like it was completed at the end of the straight. And then as he run a little bit wide, he has. McGillivray's fought back. And then Butt has ended up completing the move a couple of corners later. So he moves up into P9. Now Benjamin Hignett, he's in the pits. It's a relatively early stop. He'd have to go 72 minutes to the end of this one. He has been a driver who's made a bit of a name for himself going long in stints. So that is definitely not outside the realms of possibility of Benjamin Hignett doing that. And we will get a bit of an idea on a par time for a pit stop. He's still in there at the moment. Stop. There he goes. He's off now, so 32 seconds stationary time. We'll see what sort of all-up pit time he has as he's back out onto the racetrack now. 70 seconds total he was in the pits for. Stopped for 32 seconds, so it looks like he took some tyres and fuel. And he's all good to go until the end of this one. So 71 minutes and change he will need to go all the way till the end. So 70 seconds. Gap to the leader is 65 between Hignett and Ricker. So those guys obviously will go later. So time in the pits be a little bit less for them. Laps they complete. Still say probably up to 30 seconds is a big mark. But yeah, it's going to be fascinating to watch his progress. So he's down there in P14. Fresh air as far as he can see. So he can just open it right up and have a dip. Monitor his progress. So currently P number 14. 12 and a half seconds off Rod Taylor, whose last lap around did a 2:10.3. As we're watching Parker. An interesting line into turn one. He's got Canero for company. They're making their way through section of the track. They said they wanted to make it sort of similar to Maggots and Beckett's at Silverstone, and they were designing. It is a very, very challenging track, this one. It does offer some relief though, this 1.2 kilometre straight. Just gives you the opportunity just to gather your thoughts. And then once you're out of this straight, you're right back into it in terms of the technical part. You know, from turn 12 to 19, it's pretty much non-stop. Includes that triple apex right-hander, and then turn 19, the left-hander at the end of it is no easy feat. But it just gives you a little bit of an opportunity just to regather your thoughts. That can sometimes be a little bit dangerous because you lose your thought and you end up running deep at the end of the straight, which we've already seen Parker do as well as Hignett. Both of them losing positions because of it. Mark Hurley is back in the pits. I reckon some sort of direction from him has to be given the that behaviour. Anyway, his race is pretty much done. He'll just be getting out there for a bit of fun. So Vinny's just dropped off a little bit from Parker. He's just under a second behind Mitch Hayes. See what sort of laps they do this trip around. Hayes 208.3, 208.3 to Parker, 208.8 to Kinero. Reed did a 208.4. Now the leader, on the other hand, did a 207.3. Rickett did a 207.2. So Steele just turning it up. Rickett trying to go with him, but it's 5 seconds the gap between P1 and P2 right now. So in the first half an hour of this race, round number 9 for the season, Jack Steele is doing everything right. He put it on pole position and he's been unchallenged so far in the lead. A 5 second gap over his closest championship rival, as mentioned. The scenario is Max would need to win the race. Jack Steele would need to finish third or lower. If Hignett is to win the championship, he would need to finish the race in P1 and have Steele and Ricker finish fourth or lower. That is not looking likely at this stage. Hignett recently pitted, 8.5 seconds now. The Ferrari, that is that Hedges? Yeah, it is Hedges. So just a lap car making way for these guys. Good driving to him. Kinneara's really dropped right off these guys. So I wonder if he's had a little incident, and that's Hedges just doing his best to stay out of the way. It can be very, very tricky, especially through there as well. When the faster guys come through, you do your best to get out of the way, but sometimes you can't help but get in the way. It's a little bit tricky, but he did pretty well, all things considered. He's down there in P15 right now, so he's third in AM class. Leading the AM class and the AM class championship is Wally Masterson down there in P12. He's got a 5 second gap on Rod Taylor, who's just behind him in P13. And the car on screen, the orange, black and blue trim, that is Mitch Hayes. He's in fourth outright and the silver class lead. Paul Russell, our silver class championship leader, he's down there in 16th, so just him finishing will be enough. Here comes Frosty up the inside of McGillivray into turn 1, and he gets the job done. Let's have a look at that on the replay. Let's go on board with him. Just tucks himself into the toe. And nice work there from the 666. I'll take those third shifts. Just absolutely delightful. So he's in 9th right now. Biggest risers and fallers. Biggest riser, 2 spots. Wally Masterson, Mitch Hayes, 2 spots. Everyone else has either stayed pat. Jack Steele and Aaron Parker, they've stayed where they started. Everyone else has gone up 1 spot. Rod Taylor and John Hedges, they've both started. They're both where they started. Paul Russell dropped 8. Hignett down 12, but he went that early pit stop, which seems to have been a strategy call from him. He has made up ground more on Rod Taylor, so he's made up about 6 seconds in the space of sort of 2 or 3 laps. So he's really chewing into him at about a couple of seconds a lap right now. So he'll be on him very, very shortly. We're not far away from 40 minutes completed. So race going by at a fairly decent clip, hasn't felt too laborious. Might have felt a little bit longer than what it is so far. That's the view from behind, that's the view from front. You've got Pierre Reid. Yeah, Reed, these guys did almost identical lap times, only separated by 8/100 of a second. Parker did a 2:07.9 compared to these guys doing 2:08.2. So Parker got a little bit more pace. Trying to capitalise on that though. Proving to be somewhat difficult around this 5.53 kilometre circuit. It is long, 5.5 kilometres, 20 turns in total. Track that has been around for a little while now. First opened in 2012. Here's Russell. Gillivray and Frost, they swapped positions not long ago. Battle. So yeah, Kinnear dropped right off these guys. His last lap 2:08.4. So he was right up there, and then just all of a sudden dropped way back. 4 seconds. Beautiful between these guys. Pierre Reid, fantastic driving from him so far. Very much a flawless drive from him. Started in 4th, in 3rd, doing exceptionally well right now. Got that Lamborghini humming, and he's in the podium spot, which will be a well-deserved. That's where he ends up. Long way still to go. Even stop talking about that, to be fair. Let's maybe do a lap with Mitch Hayes. What do you reckon? What's that? Good idea. Alright, so let's do it. Quick 2 minutes. And there's Parker. Just behind him as well. Pierre Reid doing that one. 2:08.2, 2:08.5, 2:08.5 to Hayes Parker. Hildy's in the pits. 59 minutes left on the clock. Pressure stop. Pitting from P8. His marks, good stuff to him. Chris Hildebrand. Steele 4.8 seconds ahead of Max Ricker. I just know as soon as I step away from here, something will happen between these three. Oh, here goes Hayes. He took a funny line. Pierre Reid had to go defensive there. That last lap around, it was quite strange where it was almost like Hayes was trying to get out of the toe. But this is a lot closer than he was last lap around. Pierre Reid goes defensive on the inside. He's going to force Hayes to go around the outside. Might try a bit of a cutback there as well. Parker's going to want to get himself involved here too. Almost going 3 wide there. Look at this. Aaron Parker, he's pouncing on his opportunity. He can see. That is a big shame. That is a really big shame. That's a big shame because that was a really, really great battle. That was. Let's go back to. Look at that. Look at this racing, and then Hayes, and then bang, just ran into him. That is a real shame because that was a cracking battle between those three. And we'll go back to live images. So Hayes redressed with Reid, which is what you want to see. There wasn't anything malicious by that. It's just one of those things where you just get a little bit overexcited and you end up just sort of, pushing a little bit too hard. And he made contact. Reid went around. He redressed. These guys will go back and continue to fight on. The big beneficiary of all of that is this man here, Aaron Parker. So he's able to skip clear of those guys. 4 seconds is the difference between him and James Pierre Reid. He's 18 seconds behind Max Ricker though, so which is just here. Coming through the final turn now in the number 27. No, he's not. He's coming through turn 11. My apologies, sorry. So heading along the back straight. And Wally Masterson is in the pits. How long was Chris Hildebrand in there for? 32 seconds a minute 11. There you go. So Hignett was a minute 10. So 70 seconds is the stop. Where is Hignett? So he's started to progress. He is currently P10 right now, 68 seconds off the leader, which is Jack Steele. So he pitted 15 minutes ago. Did Benjamin Hignett. Interesting times ahead. Here's Mitch Hayes. So back with he and Pierre Reid. It was a lot of fun when it was 3 cars. Unfortunately, it's just the 2. Will we get a little bit of weather perhaps? It doesn't look, nothing looks imminent right now. Maybe we might get a little bit of something because it's saying the next 15 minutes is clear. But here comes Mitch Hayes. So Pierre Reid continues on. Pressure stop from Mitch Hayes. Does he have any damage he needs to repair? And if he does, will he repair it? We will know. The par time is about 70 seconds in total. As he brings his McLaren down the pit straight. All done and dusted. So he'll make a stop. Pierre Reid will continue on. Hayes will drop down the standings. He'll be stationary for about another 20 seconds. As Reid pushes on. So they're all within pit stop range now. You can easily fill up and go 50 odd minutes. 54 is what we've got left. 54 in the season. So we're not too far away from the halfway mark of this one. And thus far, it's been Jack Steele leading the way. Yeah, 32 seconds stop time to Hayes, so he didn't have any damage, and if he did, he didn't repair it. What is his total time? 71 seconds in total. There you go. So right on target with everyone else. So Hignett, I reckon we might get a little bit of weather. Maybe something might blow in. Maybe. What is it? 5:48 in game time. Just turned 5:49. So that's in the PM. I just wonder. The skies are just clouding over ever so slightly. We will see. It's a very open plains kind of area of South Texas, Austin. So we'll see. It's a big place, Texas. Not too sure everything's bigger there, but that's what they say anyway. So he's been in Canero. He has made his stop 7.5 minutes ago. So Mitch Hayes just made his as well, so that's why Canero is right on the bumper of Hayes. He did have good pace earlier on, did Vinny, but seems to have dropped off. Maybe the tyres not to his liking or wearing the way he'd like. Maybe it's just getting sort of later in the day. It's daylight savings time in America now. We've gone back to standard time. Well, the East Coast have anyway. Does Perth even, does West Australia do daylight savings anymore? I don't think they do they? Like it ruins their blinds or whatever. I think that's like an old wives' tale. Or animals don't like it though, like cows and stuff like that. And chickens. Yeah, so anyway, it's getting a little bit darker. You got Pierre Reid with the lights on. It's just, say the next 15 minutes it's going to sort of stay the same, but it hasn't. So will we see some weather? Possibly. Will we? Or is it just getting a little bit darker? Oh yeah, see, there you go. It's the icons have changed. Up the top there, they've changed to just clouds. No sun in them. But in saying that, they could, the next time it ticks over, it could have sun behind them. I would doubt it though, because 5:54 PM in game time, so we'll have to monitor it closely. It's all sort of quiet on the western front right now at the halfway mark. It's Jack Steele leading the way. 4.6 seconds is the gap, so he's doing it relatively comfortable right now. Last lap around, 2:07.8 to Steele, 2:07.3 to Max Ricker. Parker, 2:08.7. 2:08.7 to Reed. Robin Herbert is coming into the pits. So is Mark Hurley. He's back, Mark Hurley. So good to see him out there. I like this livery, this Red Rebel Racing livery. It's quite cool. There you go. It's a better shot of it. I like it. Yellow. Reminiscent of Lewis Hamilton's helmet this season. Isn't that just a stunning helmet? Stunning design. Simple, but yeah, the colour, beautiful. So Canero and Hayes. Reed has continued out. What is the gap between Reed and Hayes? Oh boy. It is 18, 20, 47, 58, 65. So Reed is far enough ahead to make a pit stop and still come out in front of Mitch Hayes. So Pierre Reid, oh, looking good, damn it. So here's Steele and Ricker. They've both pitted at the same time. Here we go. Oh, this is exciting. So Parker is going to go through. He will lead this one. There he goes. That's Wally Masterson. There he goes. There's James Pierre Reid. Steele, how long have you been stopped for? 22 seconds and counting. Max Ricker just ever so slightly. But has hit the speed sign. What happened there? Let's go on board. Oh, I bet you they won't show it on the replay. And then he's bang, gave it a whack there. Yeah, that's where he hit it. So he just overshot. I didn't think it would show it on the replay. It doesn't. Anyway, back to the live images. Now, Steele, he was in there for a minute 10. Ricker was in there for a minute 11. Both stationary for 32 seconds. Here comes Ricker. So the gap is at about 5 seconds right now between Steele and Ricker. Hignett moves up into P5. So McGillivray, Butt, Frost, Taylor coming into the pits now as well. So they're all making their stops. But it's Aaron Parker leading the way. He's going to try and keep out ahead of Mitch Hayes, who is about 70 seconds behind him. Now that seems to be the par time for a pit stop tonight. Hildebrandt gets past Bart, out of the pits. So Parker will be wanting to try and hold position over Hayes. But it's about 70 seconds, so it's going to be pretty tight as of right now. Depends, will he pit this lap? No, he doesn't. He's going to go around again. Continues to cloud over. 6:02 in game time. So potentially just getting a little bit darker because it's later rather than an indicator of rain. I don't think we'll really see any sun for the rest of this one. Will that change track temperatures? Currently it's 29. I think it started about 33. Track air temperature is 28. Track temperature is 33. So down to 29. That's going to make your pit stop even more important. Making sure you've got those pressures set correctly. That's where your practice during the week comes into it. And also being able to adjust on the fly. As we are over the halfway mark. So Pierre Reid in P2 right now. That's not Pierre Reid. There he is. So drivers that haven't stopped yet is Parker and Reid and Hedges, according to my timing screen. So everyone else has made their stops. What's Parker going to do? He's down through the back straight. You can see Pierre Reid. Taylor coming through. There's Wally Masterson, our AM champion-elect. McGillivray making his stop. Vinny Canero, 1.1 seconds off the back of Mitch Hayes. Gap between Hayes and Parker, 69 seconds. So Hayes right now is on track to get past Parker once he makes his stop. As is Vinny Canero, he's just inching ever closer. So you would think pitting sooner rather than later for Parker to try and hold position would be highly advisable. There's Frosty. Did he just make a stop? No, he's made one like a lap or so ago. Yeah, but Parker is going to want to make his stop pretty soon, I would think. Here it is. This is going to be pretty close. He's got to absolutely nail this to see if he can hold position on Hayes and Canero. If he doesn't, it is going to be super tight anyway. So it'll be some pretty close racing towards the end. McGillivray, how long have you been in here for, Brett McGillivray? 4 minutes. Gee whiz, something is not right with that car. Here we go. Here's Mitch Hayes. Where is he? He's coming out of turn 12 into the right hand of turn 13. That's Vinny Canero right behind him. Parker has been stopped for 15 seconds now. There's about another 15 to go after that. Counting at 22 seconds, 23. This is going to be pretty tight. He's got another 3 seconds or so to go. Where is he? He should be going now. He is. Yes, he is. So here comes Hayes through the second to last corner. Parker is continuing to go. Here comes Hayes through the final turn. Parker at the end of the pit straight. There he is. Where is... Oh, and here comes Mitch Hayes. They're going to have a full head of steam. Fires belching from the rear of the McLaren. And nice work to Aaron Parker. He's managed to keep Mitch Hayes and Vinny Canero at bay. Well done to him. His pit stop. Parker, 33 seconds and a minute 13. So I wonder, did Hayes and Canero just slow up in pace maybe? Because it was 2 seconds slower total pit stop time compared to Hayes, but Parker was managed to stay out. Last lap round, Hayes did a 2:07.5. So it's a pretty racy time. Saying that though, Jack Steele did a 2:06.7. Rickard did a 2:06.7. Doesn't matter. All that matters is this man here, Aaron Parker is ahead of Mitch Hayes and Vinny Canero. So 5th, 6th and 7th. And look who it is in P number 4, Benjamin Hignett. As James Pierre Reid, he comes into the pits. How far will he drop down? So Chris Hildebrandt will be the target car. Let's go over to him. He's way down the back straight. Pierre Reid just stopped, so he'll be up on the jacks for about another 20 odd seconds, according to the par times. Well clouded over now. 29 degrees track temperature still. Air temperature 27. No weather to speak of at this stage. Pierre Reid is going to be dropping very momentarily. Oh, this is long. That's long. He was stopped for 36 seconds. Hildebrandt coming through the second last turn. I think Reid is going to be pretty safe here. What about Hayes though? And Hayes gets through. Canero gets through as Pierre Reid loses spots to them, and here comes Hildy, and there's the Lamborghini up there. So Pierre Reid drops down into 7th position, 6.5 seconds behind Vinny Canero and Mitch Hayes, occupying P5 and P6 right now. And Hildebrandt, 5.5 seconds the difference between he and James Pierre Reid. Having a great run is Chris Hildebrandt in the 1111. Started 8th in P8. Doesn't have much company though at the moment. 10 seconds behind his butt, and 5.5 seconds up the road is Pierre Reid. So he might have a lonely old 40 minutes left in this one. Where is he in silver class? He's P2 right now. So that'd be a good result for him if he's able to hold on to P2 in class, and following up last week's class victory at the Red Bull Ring in the wet. And no weather to speak of, but I always get a little bit somewhat curious when they're giving us the times in 5 and 15 minute chunks. I don't know if that's because I've got it set there, but usually it's like 15 minutes and a half. It was 10 minutes and half an hour in qualifying. Now it's 5 and 15 minute chunks in the race. Track temperature is down to 28 degrees. Got a pretty stiff breeze out there as well. 5 kilometres. It's been running it between sort of 1 to 4, now at 5. So it's the windiest it's been so far. We really need a weather radar. That would be cool. Let us know if there's any weather on the way. Keep an eye on it though. Not forecast yet. 6:18 in game time. So the light will continue to fade. You can see Vinny Canero, he's prepared for it. He's got his lights ablaze. And he is trying to catch Mitch Hayes here. In the meantime, Steele continues to lead this one. There he is, he does exist. That was like Oscar Piastri last night, or early this morning, depending on when you watched it. Well, he was on. I didn't stay up and watch it at 1 o'clock in the morning. It's a bit too late on a school night. Yeah, you hardly saw him out there. Just put this man on the screen. So 4.5 seconds. There you go. You can see Max Ricker. He's got his lights ablaze as well. Steele, he's got his lights turned on too. Air temperature's dropped a degree, down to 26. Track's still at 28. Last lap around at 2 minutes 6.6. Ricker 206.1. So we had him covered in that last lap, did Jack Steele. His pace has been phenomenal this season. He has consistently been one of the fastest cars out on track, and he continues to walk to the beat of that drum right now and drive to the beat of that drum. With 37.5 minutes left, sort of lap does he put in this? 206.8, Ricker 206.1. Is that a little mistake from Steele on that previous lap? Or is Ricker just finding a little bit more pace? Both made their stops at the same time, so tyre life will be the same, just depending on how well they can look after them. But 4 seconds is the gap between Jack Steele and Max Ricker. If Steele finishes first, he will definitely win the championship. Even with Ricker finishing in P2, the scenario was they'd need Ricker to finish first and for Steele to finish third or lower. That is not looking like it's happening at this stage. The other person who was in contention is this man here. He's our reigning defending champion, Benjamin Hignett. He's currently in P3, a very, very familiar position to him. A position he's finished in 6 times this season. Will he make it 7? We've got 36 and a bit minutes to find out. Vinny Canero, what's going on here with Paul Russell and Hedges? Let's see if I can see something. Was Hedges in the pit? Yeah, he was. There you go, he's coming out of the pit. Now that's Butt behind Russell. Russell is a lap down though, so Christopher Butt having a good race. He's up there in 9th position. He made his stop 11 minutes and 20 seconds ago. He started 9th and is 9th, so that's a good race so far from him. Only his sort of 3rd race in PC, 3rd or 4th race with us in PC, so yeah, putting in a fine effort this evening. And 2 of the closest cars on track is Mitch Hayes and Vinny Canero. Less than a second the difference between the two. Hayes was 55/100th of a second slower than Vinny Canero on that last lap. Vinny Canero did a 2 minutes 7.800. Look at that, that's a nice, neat time. That is 5/100ths of a second slower was Mitch Hayes on that previous lap. Speaking of laps, Steele was a 10th quicker that last trip around than Ricker. So he made a little mistake that caused him to just dip a little bit slower than Ricker on the previous one around. He's made up for that. Back on track. 34.5 minutes remaining. 177. That's Mark Hurley. How did he get there? Let us find out. He coming through here? Just through the S's. Oh, he just runs a little bit wide. Not much grip out there, and round he goes. So if he wasn't having any bad luck, he'd have no luck at all this evening. And back in the pits where we have seen him for a good chunk of time this evening. But to his credit, he's been battling it out. He's been plugging along like a trooper. So shout out to Mark Hurley. Lovely livery on that Ferrari. But yeah, not having a great night tonight, unfortunately for him. Quite a few laps down on the rest of the field. In the meantime though, back to Vinny Canero and Mitch Hayes. So Hayes in P5 right now, highest of the silver class runners. I cannot see Mitch Hayes remaining in silver class next season. Had a good season. Oh, in saying that though, Paul Russell is up further and leading the silver class championship. He's had an interesting season, as I said earlier. 6th, didn't race in round 2, 8th, 20th and 21st. That's where his season sort of went wrong. 5th, 4th and 13th. So it's kind of been win it or bin it for him. The 20th and 21st and the 13th. That's what kills a bit of your momentum. In the meantime though, let's see what sort of lap they do. A 2:08.2, 2:09.3 to Kinero. So Hayes just able to open up a little bit more of a gap. Not far away from the 70-minute mark of what is round number 9 of the first season of 2025. Now, although we won't be racing next week in ACC, looks like LMU is starting to get a little bit of traction at Ruse. So, should be some off-season action in LMU. I'm pretty keen to have a crack at streaming some of it, so it's not going to be like a proper series or anything as far as I know at the moment. But yeah, that seems to be where sim racing is starting to head right now with the introduction of AC Evo, which seems to be coming on quite nicely. They put out a video the other day, the devs. They were quite how would I say, they were very upfront, and they were like, you know what, we made some mistakes in the early release, which I wouldn't say they made mistakes. Like, it's you know what, to do anything these days, to launch anything online to an online community that's worldwide, man, it's hard yards. It's hard yards. It's impossible to please everyone. Here's Aaron Parker, so he's close right up on Hignett. Sort of lap does Hignett do? 2:08.4 to 2:07.3. How old are those tyres? 40 minutes old compared to Parker, 13 minutes old. So it looks like Barry R's mowing service. That's a reference to last week for Aaron Parker. So yeah, this is interesting. I'll have to launch into a big monologue about sim racing, just releasing anything online in general. In amongst gaming communities, very fickle. And you got every person's got a freaking YouTube channel or a podcast, and it just I'm not about it. I would not want to do it. It'd be bloody horrible. In the meantime, though, Parker make up good ground on Hignett. Parker 259 kilometres top speed, 257 to Benjamin Hignett. Those tyres are getting old, and that is what we're seeing manifest itself physically out on the track, which is dropped. No, it hasn't dropped in temperature. 27 degrees. Air temperature has dropped. 29 minutes to go. Weather forecast has remained unchanged, just clouding over. 6:38 in game time. We see darkness descending, perhaps. The lights taking more effect. And Parker now is all over the back of the number 1 Ferrari, Benjamin Hignett, who at this stage will not be able to have that number next season. lose his rights to use that number because Jack Steele is on the charge, on his way to a championship right now. Let's have a look at this man here, James Pierre Reid. So Vinny Canero got the pass on, is just nodding off there. It was getting a little bit monotonous. Did I miss that? Canero getting past Reid? I think I did. My apologies. Here we go. I'll try and not miss Parker if he gets past. So Butt and Frost, they swap positions. Reid and Canero have swapped as well. Let's have a look at that. So they're coming down the hill there out of turn 1. Just Canero he gets a little bit of a slide on. And Reid just slips through. We'll go back to live images. There we go. And now Parker. Gets a big toe. We've seen him go deep here. We've seen Hignett go deep there as well, overshooting the mark. Neither of them do it this time around. This is great racing between these two. Side by side. Parker goes down the inside. He gets the job done. Aaron Parker. He couldn't quite complete the move. He just overcooked it. Let's go back on board with him. So this is what it looked like. So we had Hignett in the rearview mirror. Then he's overshot it. And then he's let Hignett through. So back into P4 as we go back to live images. As they now head onto the front straight. Hignett is going to have to defend. Still 26 minutes left, so an eternity. They just cut back under. He'll have better grip on those tyres. They're about half an hour younger than the ones that are on the Ferrari of Benjamin Hignett. And that will definitely come into play through the opening turns of this one, but Parker the car getting away from him. Vinny Canero is in the pits now as well, so 34 minutes was that stint. That might be the canary in the coal mine for Hignett. He's at 45, so Canero had to pit at 37 minutes. That is not a good sign for Hignett, I don't think, because I think the gamble was he was going to have to go like 62 minutes or something to the end. What are we at? 46? Yeah. Or more than that, like 72 minutes. Yeah, to the end on this. So this will be a challenge for Hignett to remain in front, but also a challenge for Parker to get past, because as we've seen so far, as Murray Walker used to love to say, catching is one thing, but passing is another. And that is proving to be quite the case for Aaron Parker. He's going to have to work himself back up into the rear wing of that Ferrari. Mitch Hayes, he's not directly involved in this battle yet. 5.1 seconds was the gap between he and Parker. Last lap around, he was almost 2 seconds faster than Parker. Hayes, his tyres though are older by about 10 minutes to Parker in front. So Aaron Parker definitely in a very, very good position right now. Can he try and take a podium finish to wrap up his season? Or will Hignett hold on for his 7th? That's right, 7th P3 finish. Which would be incredible. I don't think you'll ever see a run like that again. 7 times on the 3rd step of the podium. If he's anything, he's bloody consistent, that's for sure. You had a win in there as well, Hignett. 6 third places, a 1st and an 8th. All single figures. a good season by our defending champion, but just shows you how good of a season Jack Steele has had, who has taken out 3 race victories, a couple of seconds, and a couple of 6th and a 4th. But that doesn't count for too much right now. So Parker, he has a 2-kilometre top speed advantage. Oh, I love that. Hignett saying, all right, you want to go down the inside, I am going to make you earn it. They make contact. That was a hefty little hip and shoulder between the two there as well. That's good stuff. That's some real rubbing is racing kind of action. Here we go, Parker. Oh, you can see him just struggling to get traction out of that corner. And Hignett having to use all his craft, all his guile, try and keep that McLaren behind him. At the moment, it is working. For how much longer, though? That is the question. You can see, looking back from the rearview mirror, the Valkyrie Motorsports entry, the number 1, Hignett, as they file through the final turn. We haven't really seen Parker able to have a run up through here into turn 1 into Big Red. 22 minutes left. Track still optimum. Air and track temperature haven't really changed much recently. Neither has the weather forecast. So everything's been in a bit of a holding pattern, except the time. That has continued to count down. And we've gotten later into the evening. The late afternoon, what would you call it? The early evening, 6:53 p.m. in-game time. Wind has gotten a little bit stronger, blowing at 6 kilometres. Here's Butt and Frost. What's happened here? Ah, but he missed it. Sorry, everyone. That's a bit of a letdown, isn't it? Any action between these two? Oh, Pierre Reed's just passed Hayes. Damn it. Come on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. What happened? I wonder if I can do a replay. I can. Oh, big slide from Hayes. He was lucky to hold on to that. So that was what, through turn 9, I think it was. Nah, that was through the second to last turn. No, I was right. Turn 9. There you go. So that's how that happened. So Pierre Reed now with 20 and a half minutes left. He's moved up into P5. Still 5 seconds off the rear of these two. You can see Reed and Hayes in the background. In the meantime, Parker hasn't managed to make up any more ground on the back straight. And this is all this is doing is just wearing those tyres more and more. Hignett. Big slide. Those tyres be warm themselves. 51 minutes now. He's been on that set of tyres. So Parker in comparison only 23, so roughly less than half the time. So he's got a big tyre advantage, but it's still not proving enough to get past Benjamin Hignett. High caliber driver. He's got the number 1 on the side of his car for a reason. Don't just accidentally win the championship. And he's showing his quality right now. Won't be enjoying this, I reckon. There's no real overtaking opportunities through here. All Parker has to rely on is, can he stick as close as he possibly can? Butt and Frost, they swap positions again. Yeah, and just try and be as close as he possibly can as they come to turn 11. And then try and catch a slipstream down that 1.2 kilometre back straight and see if you can launch an attack into the left-hander of turn 11. So it looks like he's doing exactly that. Try and get the traction down. Oh, it looked pretty good. Did he make a little bit of contact, which then held him up a bit. And I love this. Hignett's making him absolutely earn it. This is great stuff. We saw contact between them earlier. We see contact again. Parker just gets parked on the apex. And Hignett is able to work around the outside and have the inside run for this one. And we've seen Parker struggling to put the power down through there earlier. And as is the case again, this is great racing. I reckon both of these guys would be absolutely loving this right now. As frustrated as Parker would be feeling, I think he'd be more energised by the challenge that it's producing for him, rather than so much the frustration of not being able to get past a big wobble, a couple of big wobbles from Hignett. So those tyres are old, and it is starting to show. Aaron Parker should probably know that as well. They're all in the Discord chat. And here we go. So that's Pierre Reid. So what this is doing is it's just opening up the opportunity for James Pierre Reid to try and attach himself to these two. See if he can try and snag a podium. He's had a good race, has James Pierre Reid. Had that contact with, I think it was Hayes earlier on. Vinny Canero was with them as well. And it looks like Vinny Canero's out. He's gone. So we're down to 14. You know who's still here though? Mark Hurley is still here. Good work, Mark Hurley. Keep on trucking. Here we go though. Parker and Hignett. This has really provided some excitement in the back end of this one. Track has gone down another degree, down to 26 degrees. Matching the air temperature now. Still no weather forecast in this one. I don't think we're going to see anything at this stage. 7 p.m. in game time. Here goes Parker again. We've seen this episode before where Hignett will force him far left. Oh, this time he goes around the outside. Parker says, you're not going to let me down the inside. All right, I'm going to go around the outside. That is the longer way around. Look at Hignett just parking himself on that apex as well. Oh, they make a little bit of contact. But I think Parker might do it. Yeah, a little bit of contact again. But Aaron Parker has managed to do it. He's gotten past. Hignett's going to try and fight back while he can. Not able to do it. Nice work from Aaron Parker. That is a case of persistence overcomes resistance. Nice work, Aaron Parker. Great racing between both those guys as well. A lot of respect, a lot of trust. Big slide again from Hignett. Those tyres are super old. And he is now going to come under attack from James Pierre Reid. His tyres are only 25 minutes old, so less than about half an hour younger than Hignett's. And it has been showing recently as Reid ducks out of the slipstream, launches it down into turn one, overcooks it. An opportunistic move, didn't quite come off. So he's going to have to regather himself. But he will have a distinct grip advantage. Mitch Hayes as well, so he's only 1.3 seconds away. So 15 minutes left. It's gone too deep, too far, too long. These two have been having a good old squabble. Have Button and Frost. So they've been swapping positions back and forth. But Hignett's going to come under attack imminently from Pierre Reid. In the meantime, amongst all that, Steele has maintained a 4-second gap between Max Ricker last lap around. Steele was a 2:07.3. Ricker was a 2:07.2, so the gap holding at 4 seconds right now. Jack Steele 14.5 minutes away from claiming this season's championship. And there you go, a little bit of sunshine now to finish off this one, peeking from behind the clouds. So no rain to come. Got a little bit dark there for a while, but just the cloud coming over. Air and track temperatures still match themselves, 26 degrees. Conditions are optimum. 14 minutes left in the season. 14 minutes for Reid to try and make his way past Parker. 14 minutes for Parker to defend. Hignett to defend. Parker in P3 right now. And these two, as mentioned, they've been having a ding-dong battle in P8 and P9. So Hayes in the lead of the silver class, so 6th outright at the moment. Wally Matheson leading the AM class too, so finishing off his season strong. 10th outright, 13 seconds ahead of Rod Taylor, who's in 11th position, second in the AM class. And now Hignett just makes up a little bit of ground on Parker. Last trip around, we're only separated by 100th of a second, Parker and Hignett. Reed was a little bit slower. There's Butt and Frost. Let's try and see what happened here. So did Frost get in? No? I don't know why my timing screen keeps on doing that. We'll go back to live images shortly, unless Frost absolutely launches it and then loses the spot again. No, he doesn't. Alright. Back to these two. So Hignett's all of a sudden made up a bunch of ground on Parker. This is not over yet. This is not over. Hignett can see a podium position. It would be his 7th P3 of the season. Quite remarkable. So he wants it, hunting him down. Pierre Reid just dropped off a little bit, 1.2 seconds the gap. Mitch Hayes has fallen right off, 5.3 seconds. So I wonder if he had a big wobble on that last lap. He did a 2:11 flat. So a couple of seconds slower than the guys he's chasing. So I think he's just had a little mistake there along the way. His tyres are pretty old, 43 minutes old now. Hignett's is 60 minutes old. So those tyres just starting to come to the end of their lives. 11 minutes still left. Last lap. Parker, 2:08.3. 2:07 flat to Hignett. So he was faster by a couple of tenths. 2 or 3 tenths on that last one. So Hignett not giving this up without a fight. Pierre Reid now, he's closed up the gap a little bit. It's under a second. His last lap around was a 2:08.000. Seen a few times like that this evening. Nice and neat and tidy. There's the three of these cars, 3rd, 4th and 5th. Parker, Hignett and Reid. There's Hayes off in the background. As we go on board the Lamborghini of the 15 of Pierre Reid. Had a good run tonight, no technical issues. He did start 4th, so it was a fantastic qualifying effort. Still a good job to only be in 5th position and battling it out still for a potential podium. So Parker's still got it all to do. He's going to have to hold off Hignett. If he makes a single mistake, not only will Hignett pounce, but so will Pierre Reid. So it's going to be a pretty pressure-packed 9.5 minutes for car 884. Ricker making up a little bit of ground on Steele. So he's wiped off about 2 or 3 tenths. Last lap around, Steele did a 2:07.4. Ricker did a 2:07 flat. What does this lap do for Parker? 2:08.2, 2:08.6, 2:07.7. So that was all Parker, Hignett and Reid. So Reid was the fastest driver behind them all. He goes up the hill, all 37.5 metres of elevation's worth. And they go down the roller coaster. This is where Hignett would probably be feeling his tyre were the absolute worst. And Reid, you just want to try and hold on as much as he can close as he possibly can once they go through turn 11. Top speeds are identical, so 258 kilometres. Both equal top speeds tonight, Hignett and Reed. So no real significant pace advantage. Just going to have to get the traction down, tuck under that rear wing as much as you can. See if you can get a draft. Not looking like it at this stage. Track temperatures continue to get lower and lower. It's 25 degrees. Track temperature matching the air temperature. Still quite comfortable though if you're sitting outside watching. Seven and a half minutes remaining. Parker a little bit more composed right now over Hignett. I'm not seeing the big slides from Hignett anymore either, coming through those particular corners. So maybe he's just found the sweet spot for pace, being determined by the wear of those tyres. So head down the start-finish line. Start and finish straight. That's Hedges just up ahead. So he's got these three combatants coming through. Gets out of the way, nice. Oh, Jack Steele. Just threw down the gauntlet on that previous lap. So he went at a 2:06.9 compared to a 2:07.5 on that previous lap from Ricker. So 3.4 seconds is the gap between the two, P1 and P2. There you go, so here's Steele. So he's about to come through the final turn now. And you can see Ricker, there he is. So that's a pretty good idea of the gap between the two. That's what 3.3 seconds looks like. And then that lap, a 2:07.7 to Steele, a 2:07 flat to Ricker. 3.4 seconds is the gap. 5.5 minutes remaining. Even if Steele was to finish P2 and Ricker wins, Jack Steele would still be the champion. The scenario is Ricker would need to win, and Jack Steele would need to finish at least third or lower for Ricker to take the title. The gap between Ricker and Parker right now is at 49 seconds. So, barring a significant incident, even if Steele was to lose the lead, it would take something very unfortunate happening to him to get relegated down into P3. So, yeah, no major risks for him at the moment. But I dare say he'll still want to win. He'll want to try and take his fourth victory of the season. And these two have been going at it for about the last 15 or 20 minutes or so. We've got 4 minutes 20 remaining. And they've been having a great old battle for 8th and 9th. So go up through turn 1. Nothing doing there. Let's get back to this action here. So Pierre Reed's just dropped off a little bit. So perhaps his tyres are starting to feel it a little bit. 37 minutes old they are. Hignett's is 67 minutes. Parker's is 39. Last trip around, Parker did a 2:08.2. Hignett did a 2:08.1. Reed did a 2:08.1 as well. So perhaps Reed doesn't quite have the pace in that car at the moment. 25 degrees track temperature. Might have affected tyre pressures for him. Maybe not to his liking. And Parker still under immense pressure. This is not a layup. This is not a gimme. It'll still be a fitting way for him to finish. It'll be his third trip to the podium. He's had a first, he's had a second. Hasn't had a third this season. He's had a fourth. Had a couple of fourths. A fifth, a seventh, and a ninth. Oh, there's a big wobble from Hignat. That's going to open up the door for Reed. In through the final turn. Goes down the inside. Oh, that's a rally cross effort from him. It was on all four tyres here. What's going to be the best camera angle of this? Watch this. Oh, this should be a pretty good angle. Watch this. Boom! All four wheels off the ground from Benjamin Hignat. Absolutely giving it. And he's now dropped down into P5. So it did look spectacular, but unfortunately that's cost him a position. So there's Pierre Reid, the man who took that position away. And the track now bathed in very late, in early evening sunlight. That's look quite nice actually. And that's just released Parker now. That's just sort of... That's just released the relief valve. And yeah, he's looking very good.
Right, man. The leader is on the final lap. Give it a final
9
push.
seconds remaining. The leader is on the final lap. So I think it might be. Yeah, it is. Yeah. So Steele. Sucks. Steele on the final lap. 3.2 seconds is the gap. There's Ricker in second. But he's got about half a lap to go. Pierre Reid, yeah, 2 seconds off Parker. So Parker's looking good right now. But Jack Steele, what a great season. He opened it up with a victory in round number 1. And he's going to bookend the season perfectly. So as mentioned, this will be his 4th victory of the season. He took victory in round 1, round 3, round 7, and round number 9. And he is going to win this season's championship round, season 1 of 2025. It's been a dominating effort. He's often been, more often than not, been the fastest car out there. He's had some dominating victories, such as today. This has been a lights to flag effort for him as he makes his way through the last couple of turns for the lap. But season 1 of 2025, it is the man of steel as he makes his way through the final corner. The 996 Ferrari. Congratulations, Jack Steele. Not only does he take the victory, but he wins the championship. Congratulations. He'll have the number 1 on the car next season. Max Ricker comes home for a well-deserved P2. That will sew up P2 in the championship. But Jack Steele is our new championship winner. He looks pretty happy about it as well. Here comes Aaron Parker. This is a fitting way for him to finish the season. This will be his 3rd time on the podium. He's just got 16, 17, 18, 19 and 20 still to go. But he should be able to hold on and finish a very well-deserved P3. I think that's Rod Taylor just in the foreground. Wally Masterson crosses the line. So he takes out the AM class win and the AM class championship. Pierre Reid pushing Parker all the way to the very end. Aaron Parker crosses the line in third. Well done. Congratulations to him. James Pierre Reid, he is in fourth. Hignett is in fifth. Mitch Hayes, highest of the silver class. He is going to take victory as well. So congratulations to Mitch Hayes. He wins the silver class race today. Chris Hildebrandt, he's coming across the line. So he started in P8. He's going to finish the race in P7. Congratulations to him. Well done, Chris Hildebrandt. Christopher Butler, he's had a good race today. That is a very, very well-deserved P8. Well done to him. Frost in 9th. As I mentioned, Masterson in 10th. Highest of the AM. Rod Taylor. Paul Russell, he's our silver class champion. Congratulations to Paul Russell. Wally Masterson is our AM class champion. Jack Steele is our overall champion. And it was Hedges and Hurley who made up the remainder of the field today. So congratulations to all of those. Let's get some post-race interviews. Quit that. Alright. Let's get out of here. Yep, come on. Let's go to the Discord. Yeah, I'll get rid of that. Let's see if we can get some post-race interviews. Herbie lost. Now, I don't think we'll hear from Wally because he likes to head off pretty quickly.
Hello?
Oh, is this Jack Steele?
It is.
Congratulations, mate. Congratulations on the victory. And congratulations, you're the champion for the season. Well done.
Yes, thank you. It's been a pretty tight season, right down to the wire. Even that race was stressful. Not much in it.
Well, there was only 3 seconds in the end. You looked in control for the majority of it. But Max Ricker was challenging pretty hard late.
Yeah, he was bloody quick with the worn tyres. I could just see him. The longer the stint went, the lower that delta was going.
Yeah. It was. So, you were able to sort of hold him about that sort of 5-second gap, 4.5, 5 seconds, and then sort of towards the end of the race, that your tyres were dying at the end there as well. I take it.
Yeah, towards the end of both stints, the tyres are pretty knackered, and I set the car up for a bit of safety, just because I knew this track with the track limits, and that's sector 1.
Yep.
And then I just couldn't haul it around the corners of the final sector.
Right.
Once the tyres were gone, but
yep,
that was a great race, and Max fought all the way to the end.
Yeah, no, he definitely didn't want to give it up without a fight, and I think that's just indicative of Max. But you've had a great season. 4 victories in total. You've had 2 seconds in there as well. You had a 4th and a 6th. What's not so much the secret? What's been the focus to get the? Because you've been bloody quick out the box. You won the first race, you won the last race, and you won 2 others in between. What's been the big focus on this season to get where you got to?
Practice, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, I picked the Ferrari as well because I knew it was a pretty safe car. Like, once the tyres are worn, it's not a death trap. Pretty consistent throughout the stints.
Yeah.
So I just thought I could pick that and then focus on driving, and then I just did a heap of practice this season trying to win. I really wanted a championship win.
Yeah.
I got a kid on the way
Right.
due in August, so I thought, might be my last chance to have some time to practice.
Yeah. Well,
so
congratulations.
I'd go all in on this season.
Well, congratulations on your future child as well. That's pretty exciting. Did you have the equipment failure? You had to buy some new pedals as well at the start of the season? Yes. That was
round 2.
Yes.
Kyalami.
Yes.
Probably my best track.
That's right.
And the pedals broke.
Yes.
Like half an hour before.
Yeah.
Pretty I was unhappy with that, but I think that was my job round anyway, and got some new pedals just in time for the next race, and they've
Yeah,
been great. I love them.
yeah. Oh well, they've certainly you've certainly put them to good use because you've yeah you dominated this season. Fantastic season, and yeah, very very well deserved. So will we see you back again next season? Maybe for part of it.
You will, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, beautiful. Oh well, is there anyone that you want to thank or anything that you want to say while I got you?
I'll just thank the boys. I reckon it's
Yeah,
been a great season. We've had heaps of close battles, and yeah, I mean the championship was so close. You can see how tight everything was.
yeah,
I just had, yeah, load of fun racing with the guys. So
love it.
yeah, well done everyone, and keen for next season.
Beautiful. You going to put the number 1 on the side of the car next season?
Oh, I'm gonna have to, I think.
Love it. Well, congratulations, Jack Steele. That was a fantastic season. Like I said, four race victories. You bookended the season. You won the first race. You won the last race. You won a couple in between there, as well as a couple of second place, a 6th and a 4th. Yeah, you were the man of steel. You are our champion. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks for all your castings. It's been great listening to the streams back the next day. So
Beautiful.
yeah,
Cheers.
it's been awesome.
Thank you. All right. Awesome. Congrats, mate.
All right. Thank you. Catch
See
you
you-
next year.
See you,
next
mate.
season.
All right. So, who else was in there? Wally Masson, and it looks like Mitch Hayes is. I don't know if Mitch Hayes is around. Let me see. All right, let's see if anyone else wants to jump in here. And if we'll give it a couple. Oh, here we go. Here's Mitch Hayes.
Hello, hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. Sweaty.
Sweaty, yes. Congratulations. Where'd you qualify? P7, and you've won the silver class. Walk us through your race.
It was pretty spicy up top with the pros. So I had pretty good pace in the first stint, and then I think it was me and Reedy and somebody else fighting really close together, and I ended up knocking Reedy out a little bit. So I had to redress that and decided I'd jump into pit so I wouldn't lose so much time.
Yeah.
And I gained a bit of time, but just didn't have the pace in the end of the second stint.
Yeah. What happened there with Pierre Red? I saw it, but what was your version of it?
I was basically sawing at the wheel, to be honest. So,
Yeah.
we're doing a crisscrosser through that kind of twisty section, and as he had me on the inside, and then I went to cross over, and I just didn't have enough grip to cross over like that, and just kind of slid straight into him. So we just redressed and kept going. We didn't lose too much time overall.
Yeah. And tyres were going off at the end there. Would that be fair to say? You sort of just started to drop off the back of those guys a bit.
Yeah, I ended up graining my tyres pretty bad, so the fronts especially, so I just couldn't get turning, which made it a bit tricky. And then I had 3 track limit violations up until maybe 40 minutes to go, so I had to drive relatively under the limit as well, because I just didn't want it. It's an easy track to just slip over the track limits there. So
yeah, you've had a funny season because you had 4 class victories. But you finished. I think you finished second in class to Paul Russell, and then you started off 6th. You missed a race, 8th, the 20th and the 21st positions, consecutive races. They kind of what really, and then last week 13th. They sort of really killed the momentum for your season, didn't they?
yeah. So I had a few issues with pit stops and Nordschleife and Red Bull Ring. Silly mistakes, but on me.
Yeah.
And Misano I missed because my GT Neo broke in half, so that was fun.
Your what, sorry?
My wheel ended up snapping, if you remember.
Right. Another one with equipment. We were just talking to Jack Steele. He had to replace his pedals, so you had a cracked rim.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
right.
the right grip snapped off just after qualifying at Misano. So
Right.
that race as well.
Yep.
So
Fanatec,
any one
by
of those.
chance?
No, it was a Magic GT Neo.
Yeah, right. Okay, interesting. Wow.
But when I ended up taking it back, they were mentioning that it was the second one in a week they had a grip break like that. So
Yeah, right. Okay.
interesting.
Yeah.
One of those carbon reinforced plastics. So we'll see how we go.
Yeah,
But I
okay.
ended up replacing it for the Neo X, which has a steel rim on it. So
Right. Gotcha. Well, you've had a good season. What do you reckon? Going to go up to pro class next season or stay in silver?
it depends if I like getting more interviews or not. Because I don't think I have enough pace to get an interview in the top class, but in this one I seem to be able to get.
Well, you've been here. You've been here 4 times, so you've done well.
Yeah,
you
mate.
actually won more. You had more class victories than the silver class champion Paul Russell. So you've done pretty well for yourself. But just those 20th, 21st, and the 13th, they sunk your season a little bit, unfortunately.
Yeah, consistency is king.
It is. It is. Well, you've had a fantastic season. 4 class victories. You finished second in the championship. I dare say you would finish up there as well in terms of overall standings because you were only 5 behind Herbie. Yeah, you had a good season. Yeah, I reckon you would have finished top 8
overall,
there.
I think.
Yeah. Well, congratulations.
Appreciate that. Thanks for all your work.
Yeah, no worries. And look forward to seeing you next season.
All right, I'll be ready.
Awesome.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Nick.
Thanks, Mitch.
Thanks, mate. Bye.
See ya. All right, and then I think we've got Paul Russell in here. Are you there, Paul?
Yeah, g'day, mate.
How are ya?
G'day.
Well,
Yeah, good, mate, good.
Congratulations on your. I think you wrapped up silver class tonight.
Yeah,
So-
just by 20 points. Luckily, there was some DNS because I had a dropout, so I had to start from last 2 laps down. So
Yeah, what happened? What happened tonight?
it literally dropped out on the start as we're doing the starting procedure.
Yep.
I've gone over comms. Where's everybody gone? Like all the cars disappeared, and then I had a disconnect, so I had to restart the whole game up.
Right.
Then wait 3 minutes in the pits because when you rejoin the server, there's a wait time.
Yeah, gotcha.
So yeah, 2 laps down, and I'm like, oh no, Mitch is up in like 5th.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, you can actually theoretically get me if I finish 16th.
Yes. Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
So I was pushing hard the whole race
Yeah.
to try to get the 2 laps back. I don't know why.
I thought that I thought that's what you were probably thinking, and that's why you were there. I'm just like, if it was any other race, you would have been well within your rights to just leave. But I was like, nah, you need to keep circulating here to try and scoop up those last bit of points because Mitch was pushing pretty hard.
Yeah, and then luckily I think 4 people had DNFs or stopped early, and I ended up 12th, so they ended up with 20 points
Yeah.
total over Mitch.
Yeah.
So that was a tight one. He's quick.
Yeah, and you had a good season as well. You had three class wins for the season.
Rough season, really.
You did have some rough results. So you had a couple of 12ths. You had a 15th in there.
Missed
You had
a couple of rounds too.
yeah. So it's sort of been a little bit all over the place, but you've managed to bring it home in P1 in silver, which I think is still a fantastic effort.
Yeah, no, it was a tough fight. I knew it was going to be down to the wire with Mitch.
Yeah.
But this is my last ACC season, so
Oh, really?
yeah, I'm switching over to LMU,
nice.
and unfortunately they run on Monday nights as well. So
Right.
This is my last ACC with Ruse,
Oh, well,
unless Ruse switches over eventually to LMU.
well, I think there's talk of it from what I can tell by the Discord and whatnot. So, I think they're going to be sort of testing some stuff in the coming weeks in the off season. So, who knows what the future holds?
But yeah, until then, I'm switching over to LMU.
Well, good luck, and a good way to go out.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool, man. All
All
right.
right. Well, hopefully see you again.
Yes. Yeah. Hopefully, and we'll see you around.
All right. Catch ya.
See you, mate. Bye.
Bye.
All right, I think that is pretty much it. Let me get out of here. Disconnect that. All right, cool. We're all done. So that is the season all wrapped up. That's our champions for the season. So Jack Steele for the overall, Paul Russell for the silver, and Wally Masterson for the AM. That was, you know what? That was a good season. That was a good season. We had some good racing in there. Yeah, so stay tuned to the channel because we're not necessarily going to go away. I think there's some possibly some LMU action coming up. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled, and yeah, we'll see what eventuates. But that's everything. Big thanks to all the admin people. I know Herbie took on a bigger role this season, so well done to him. Well done to Crunch as well, Neil Fakeney, who has a big role to play. All the people that do the Trusted Driver panel stuff, it all runs on volunteers, so no one gets paid for this. It's all done for the love of it, and there's a lot of time that's put in outside of just the racing. So a big thank you to all of those people that help make it go and help put on these races every week as well. So that's pretty much everything. Thanks to everyone for watching as well this season. I hope you all enjoyed it. There'll be more racing to come with next season, and like I said, keep your eyes peeled for maybe a little bit of LMU action as well, and anything else that might come across the channel. So until next time, take care of yourself. I hope you enjoyed the season. Have a great rest of your week, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.